obviously this is more of a time for y'all to ask questions, but in just giving a brief overview of Ben being a gym owner since last January, me coming on last May during shelter in place. This was really a year of like learning a lot, trying to grow membership, survive COVID, and now we're shifting from working for the business to working on the business and looking at numbers, and started working with a group called Active Life RX, who works with gym owners and coaches, and wanted to figure out a way for us to add value to our memberships and add value to the coaches and make it sustainable financially and time-wise for both Ben and I, so that we can be doing this for a long time versus getting burnt out and they're not being top tier or not owned by us, I guess. But we love this place, and these decisions are not made lightly. These are the things that keep us up at night. But anyway,
no, yeah. So I've for anybody that didn't know, I've been a coach at really technically 3 different gyms, but coached at a 4th. Wasn't really a gym, it was more like a some dude had this in his garage and he just let people work out, and there were some class times. Been through 3 different ownerships now, including myself here at Top Tier. Seen some good management, seen some bad management, and I wanted to, when I come on, to make it very inclusive for people. There wasn't a first responder discount when I came on. Wanted to start that up. I don't know if there was one before I was ever a coach here, but I wanted to give that up because I felt like that would make us competitive with other gyms. It really didn't, based off the number of first responders we have. And then running some basic numbers, it didn't really make sense for what we were doing. And we really wanted to provide a value to our members that was different from any other place. And to do that, we needed to invest in ourselves and our coaches, because really it's our coaches that are our service. And if we're not investing in turning things back into them, then we're doing our members a disservice.
And since we de-affiliated from CrossFit, like our coaches were always like L1 certified, and we've been kind of spending this year thinking about, okay, we're not affiliated anymore. Like, what is certification, you can be the best coach and have no certifications, or have all the certifications and be a shitty coach. So we don't put a ton of, it's something that is a variable that we considered. And so we're part of this Active Life is a certification process for our coaches. And maybe you can speak to that a little bit of what you.
So Active Life is owned by a chiropractor who spent 9 years doing chiropractic work. He was a personal trainer. He's owned a couple different gyms, and realized he excelled at helping others in their management and their sales and providing value. So we really connected with them because, like, when we were just doing phone calls with them to see if we were a fit for them, Sean, the owner, was asking me, well, what is your ideal member? And it's not that I have an ideal member, except that I want the members that we work with to feel known, seen, and heard. And that requires time and commitment on both the coaches, owners, and the members. So Active Life, to me, elevates us as owners and our coaches to provide a better experience for you. It's not, some fitness gurus from CrossFit, giving you a one-day seminar. This is a 15-month process to become a better coach, and hopefully trusting that we will improve the experience of our members based off of real data, like real, like anatomical, better anatomical understanding, better movement understanding, an actual assessment where we can assess, test, train, reassess, and retest, where we can prove to the client and show the client that they're getting better and that they're the value that we are bringing, while we attempt to remain accessible for people. We don't want to be an elitist gym where we have this price point that is just unattainable for people.
But we also can't have the price point where we're losing a lot of money. So that's why we're hence the price raise, but we are raising our value as well. So that's an overview. Would love for y'all to people just joining.
Emily, okay. So real quick, our battle catching Cindy and Emily up. Basically, we looked at the numbers. For 2 of our memberships, we were not making any money. We were losing money. For our discount, we were making less than 5% profit. That's for me and Melissa to get paid. Wasn't financially sustainable. I mean, anybody who's here knows how long and how much time Melissa spends in the gym. So we needed to do some reassessing about what we were doing. Basically, we came up that we were okay with a $119 price point as long as we weren't losing money with Ignite. Because and real quick, anybody's got a question about the if you want to call it a major price difference, the overhead for Ignite is just significantly less than for TT Fit. I'd be more than happy to delve into that if you have questions. So we're trying to maintain accessibility for everybody. We're trying to evolve and professionalize our staff. That's why we made the big investment into Active Life, not only for me and Melissa, but for the staff as well. I think even over the next month, you will start to see some of that, like just the changes that we've made. So I apologize that we hadn't made these changes sooner, because while I do think we've had great coaches, we didn't know really how good we could become. And it is going to be a journey. I do think that opening up the 24/7 access, while that will add a little bit of stress to me and Melissa, is a great thing for people, that really want to come into the gym, want to train two times a day. You'll have that access, and if you had that with the 129 package as well with your Ignite membership. So I understand the prices change, but I do think the amount of hopefully the amount of value that you get out of it goes up even exponentially more than the price change. That is our goal. I don't think me or Melissa want to get rich off of this. That's not what we want at all. And I trust that people can see that. But when it comes right down to it, we ran basic numbers and we're losing money on certain price points.
Maybe we can speak to the class. You can probably speak to the new hybrid, but
okay.
That's Stephen. But the class changes, I think since we've opened, I keep a Google Doc or Google Excel sheet where I track every single class, how many people are coming. And so we don't make decisions based on like a few weeks. It's usually 8 to 12 weeks of consistently either a class is waitlisted all the time, so then we decide to add a class, or a class has, on average 1 to 3 people, and it's like, okay, well, this is not does not make sense to keep. So we're making these class changes knowing that if in a few months we see another trend starting, we'll respond to that. So, but I'll let Ben speak to the noon class, I know Steven's on this call.
Yep. So the noon class will be a 45-hour-long class. It'll kind of be up to you if you need to get out in 45 minutes. I respect people's lunchtime. I've been a part of a gym where I was a paying member, where it was a 45-minute lunch class, and that was for a CrossFit class. So it's going to be kind of a hybrid. So Tracy Leading is still programming Ignite for June. What we will move to long-term, or plan to for long-term, is where the upstairs is a mirrored, mimicked image of downstairs. We will start adding more strength training, not in the like Olympic weightlifting sense, but a strength balance training. So what we want to do is incorrect balances that can cause pain. This is again something we've learned from active life. This isn't, complex movements. It's simple strength movements, again, designed to get you out of pain. So the noon hybrid will be a mix with options both from downstairs and upstairs based off of how long you have for class and what your specific fitness goals are, which ultimately we are here to meet your goals. Yeah, please, if you have questions, concerns, that's what we're here for. And again, I'm anticipating a lot of these over the next week or two, because I understand, as a single parent that is responsible for my daughters and my insurance, I understand financial burdens. So
is the noon class going to have different programming completely, or is it? I'm still confused.
It will not be different programming. So let's take today's workout, for example, with the strict or the ring muscle up progressions. So instead of ring muscle up progressions, it would be like upright rows with dumbbell strict presses, working on upper body strength balance, but it's not a skill development. So you would have the option for the skill development or the upper body strength development, strength balance. And then instead of having 5 rounds with the row, sandbag clean, handstand walk, it would be rowing, dumbbell cleans, or single arm dumbbell cleans, sandbag cleans. And we could shorten the rounds for people that need to be out in 45 minutes. So instead of being 5 full rounds, it could be 3 rounds. So you would have an option. And with the movements would be tailored for everybody that wanted to from Ignite could do them as well. And again, this isn't starting until July.
But so at noon, the class is going to be basically the top tier class, but you can just modify it to, not having barbell or whatever. Is that right?
In the simplest terms, yes.
Yeah, and the reason why
Ignite is not going to be a separate class. It will just be a modification based of the top tier class.
Yeah, because the Ignite class the noon class has lower attendance, and the noon TT fitness class has also had lower attendance. So it's more just like combined. We did that during the open on Fridays, like where the noon class was just combined, but everybody's some different movements. But yeah,
I want to be very, for anybody on this chat that was here when Emily Suttle was managing, she was big on I don't like this word, but the segregation of the upstairs and downstairs. They were 2 different things. You never did the same thing. She got mad at coaches for coaching Elevate downstairs when there wasn't a TT Fit class going on downstairs, because they're like, no, they need to be upstairs. And I want to work more, as an owner and running the operations, of combining the 2 and showing people upstairs that they don't need to be afraid of the barbell. Like people downstairs, they're no different. So that inclusivity part that's real important to me and Melissa, like showing them the bridge between the 2. And I think the noon class will be a good option for that, for people to get comfortable with it. And again, if it is something that doesn't pan out over 6 to 8 weeks, then we'll take it out. Again, I certainly don't claim to be an expert in this, but I think it's something that I think people, I'm trusting they will enjoy.
Hey, Ben and Melissa, does the price increase, does it affect somebody like me who paid the whole year?
And it wouldn't have impacted you anyway because you're at the
No.
175.
No, we were
Okay.
Yeah, so you
I,
to begin with,
Got
but
it.
if you were to like next year decide to do 175, it stays at 175.
I
You just
I
get
got you. I
24/7.
couldn't remember what it was, so I was just
You,
curious.
by paying for the year, you got a discounted rate of 150.
Right.
But
Got it. Okay, perfect. And I think, yeah, the noon class, I mean, it makes sense. I was going to ask the same questions there, but I think you explained it to where, I mean, it's basically a mixed class, and we can choose which one we want to do or modify. Yeah, makes sense.
Something I've mentioned before with people is like ultimately like that's what we want to be able to do is be able to talk, like know our members good enough, have the coaches know the members good enough, know what their goals and desires are, and be like, hey, like this workout you may be able to do this workout RX, but is that going to lead you to your goals? And yeah, I mean that's the goal. If we're not meeting people's goals, again, let's take a look at that whiteboard, you know, or the downstairs or upstairs that have your goals and what are they? And if we're not meeting them, then okay, now I need to do some reflection about why we're not meeting them, and then how can we do it? And if we are, that's great. That's what we want to be doing. But if we're not, then we need to figure out why, and then be able to address those. Because ultimately, if we're not meeting your goals, and that's something me and Melissa want to do.
I guess when it was first emailed, I was worried that what it was going to be like was kind of like the Thursday or Tuesday, Thursday, where it's a mixed class where you could do barbell or top tier. And so I was kind of concerned that a coach would have to kind of split what they were doing coaching wise. And I think sometimes that can be, difficult for the coaches to have to do two completely different things. But it sounds like this noon class will be similar. So it won't be as much of a stretch for them.
I'm sorry I didn't communicate that well, because that's a good point, because you're right about, because there are some like hybrid classes more like in the evening, the 5:45 kind of pick your own adventure. But no, you're right, the program, it's going to be one workout, but people are going to modify it different ways.
And there's gonna be a lot of that happening in July anyway. Again, Tracy's writing June, but we're gonna do. They're not gonna be the same workouts at all, like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But they're gonna be about, oh, this is kind of similar to downstairs. It's like, well, this is hitting the intended stimulus, because like if I'm trying to have the best program that we can provide, then for general physical preparedness, then shouldn't they be similar programs anyway? And if somebody just wants aerobic conditioning, then okay, then we can modify the workouts where the weights are never the issue for you. It's all right, can I just keep going? And that's fine. That'll be based on that person's goals. But for a general physical preparedness program, there should be strength and conditioning, and there should be a balance of strength conditioning. So that's going to be coming in July anyway. Again, there will be definitely more complex movements for TT Fitness and less complex movements for upstairs, but there will be some strength balance issues, that unilateral strength that transfers over into daily life. Again, unilateral strength is probably the best overall indicator of general physical preparedness. So I guess for anybody that is concerned about that they would be losing value if they just wanted to stay at their 119 membership with Ignite, like I would highly encourage to just try it for July and see how your body feels. See if we are still meeting your goals, or see if we're maybe meeting your goals better. Again, like I said, I'm definitely not an expert at this. What we're trying to do is learn from people who have been doing this a lot longer than we have, and work what has worked best and is sustainable Active Life has a great thing that it's kind of like their version of the trifecta. It's like a gym that has members that are happy, content, and having their goals and needs met. A gym that has coaches that are paid a professional wage and that can make this a career if they so choose. And then ownership that is happy and sustainable. There's a reason why very few CrossFit gyms make it to the 5 or the 10-year mark. And it is different. It's different trying to manage people, manage what is best for the gym and what is best for the majority of members. I won't make any. It's a challenge, but it's something. Yeah, especially amid COVID. But we really, yeah. We want to do what is best for the vast majority of people.
I can't hear you.
I might have missed this earlier, but how is the 24/7 access supposed to work?
Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to first install Google Nest cameras that me and Melissa will have access to 24/7, that will record 24/7, and then we're going to put a keypad on the front door that you'll be emailed a code. That code will probably change monthly. Nothing complex. The door would then lock behind you, and the door would unlock 15 minutes prior to class. So if you have 24/7 access, you come 24/7. And then if you're here, 15 minutes early, and for some reason the coach was running late, you wouldn't ever have to worry about being able to get in the gym and start to warm up 15 minutes prior to class. If you didn't have 24/7 unlimited access, there will be, like a waiver for people to sign just so that we can make sure that we have quality control. What I mean by that is that, we don't have people working out in 5 different squares, right up to class. It's going to be like, hey, 15 minutes, if you're taking the class, you can be in your square, kind of cleaned up with your equipment.
Cindy, have you been a part of a gym that's had 24/7 access before? Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out, I know gyms do it and I think it works, but I feel a little bit anxious about it, but I think we're gonna probably have a 0 tolerance policy of just want people to be, I think people will be respectful, clean up, and I'm concerned about, I don't want anybody to get hurt by themselves here, so.
Yeah, so again, one of the things we gained with Active Life was a network of other gyms. And gym out of Durham, North Carolina, is doing 24/7 and said they display very clear, very clear expectations of their members for their 24/7 access. And they said they've just gotten such positive feedback. And he said they had one negative case where kind of like what we experienced early this year, where people just kind of thought it was just for them and they could do whatever they want. And they just had to have a real conversation with that person. And I'm more than willing to do that, because I think the people that it will positively impact 4 hour ways, those that will that can potentially negatively impact. Did that, any other specific questions about 24/7? Anything else? Any other questions for me or Melissa?
Or not just questions, feedback.
Yeah, whatever. This is kind of a time.
Cindy's making a.
Huh?
Cindy said, this is the time to say, or can be a time if you want to say anything.
I have a question.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's about them jerk blocks.
Okay.
Yeah, I talked to Liz about it before, but I wonder if there's any progress on that.
So Stefan also talked to me about it the other day, saying if we could sell the jerk blocks or just get rid of the jerk blocks that we currently have and get the ones that you showed me, the road ones, or getting somebody to build those. I did not bring it to Ben's attention this week, but progress will be
Okay.
we'll talk, yes, yeah. Because those are so heavy, they never get used anyway, right?
Pretty much. I mean, it's hard to pull them in and out. They're like 200 pounds.
Well, I mean, the road ones will be heavy as well.
Yeah, but they're separate, so you can like piece
Well,
it
they also
together.
serve a good purpose for box jumps. You can use them as box jumps. They can serve multiple purposes. So yes,
Yeah, they're more functional
yes,
than one thing.
yes,
Right,
yes.
working on it. Thank you, Ted.
Yeah, cool.
Hopefully, the price of lumber will come down soon.
I mean, I'm willing to help pay for it if you want me to. It's cool. I mean, whatever. Just give me a number and I'll help you out.
When it comes to jerk blocks, he's willing to.
Okay.
Yeah.
We will start. We will definitely. We can. I mean,
Don't-
I've had some.
Don't be shy about it.
I don't like those church block either. I don't like those either. They're not.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, and Stefan was like, talking about his whole new training cycle is gonna be dependent on whether we have these jerk blocks or not. So like, it's on his mind, which he brought it to my attention again, so, and I know you talked to me about it. And I sent it to Brad Smart, and I didn't hear back about what he thought about building them, so, but,
I got a friend who does some woodwork, so I can reach out and see how much it would.
yeah.
How much it would.
Cause
how
Rogue
much
is
it would-
1,200, I think, for like all
Yeah.
the.
I mean, it's pretty pricey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I also know that those Rogue block, I think it's like, they're like $1,000, but I don't know if we could sell them, if somebody would buy them,
We can find out.
but we can find out.
We can find out.
We've thought about it, but action steps hopefully coming. Any other questions or feedback or comments? Things that people have talked to you about that would be good for us to know?
I don't I don't think I have anything. I mean, I think it's a the 24/7 I mean, that seems pretty interesting. I would have some questions about it as well, or not really questions, but if I was in your all shoes, I would have some questions about it as well, and some concerns around operations around it. But I think it's good to have that option. You know, as a business owner, I've been in your all shoes. Well, I am in your all shoes. I mean, not with the gym, but I think that you gotta, at the end of the day, you gotta have the balance of everything, of quality of life, and making sure that your members are happy. And where I sit, I think you guys are doing a great job. I think you got to do what you got to do. You got to listen to your members, but at the end of the day, you got to have profit to run a business. If you don't have profit, there's no point in having it. So hopefully everybody understands that. And yeah, so keep on doing a good job. That's my thought. So
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Stephen.
Yep.
Anybody else?
And if you want to come talk to me and Melissa, or you know somebody that does want to come talk to me and Melissa, we're more than happy to do that. I want everybody to understand, everybody to at least be able to empathize with where we're coming from, because I want to empathize with where you're coming from if we end up there reaching a disagreement. And I respect that.
Okay. Well, thank you all for your time. If there's anything else that comes up, or if you forgot to add, if you think of something later, please just shoot Ben and I an email, and we can continue the conversation. But we appreciate your membership and your support and your commitment to yourselves and your goals. So Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you,
good
guys.
night. Enjoy the
Yes.
shepherd's pie, Lindsay and Sally.